Hi everyone, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that many people who come to me who are seeking to do the inner work, the personal development, have this idea that there is a kind of a mountaintop that we're supposed to get to, some place where we will feel so well, so no longer affected by any of the life's trials, that we'll just be happy, we'll live happily ever after. And I just wanted to dispel that myth because, first of all, that just doesn't exist, right? Life will continue being life. Whether we work on ourselves, whether we train our nervous system, whether we heal our wounds, whether we get the tools that help us to become emotionally mature, life will still be life. There'll still be unfortunate incidents, there will still be difficult news, there will still be complicated conversations, we'll still not be able to control other people in our lives or their choices or their evolution or anything that happens. Life will still be in many ways out of our control. So I just wanted to make it clear that inner work doesn't bring you to the happily ever after. It doesn't bring you a serenity forever and ever. It does, yes, like I said before, it does train our nervous system to tolerate more. We're not as reactive. We now have tools to self-care. We now know how to take time to rest, how to process our emotions, how to have difficult conversations. We can learn all these tools, but life will continue being life. So it's important to understand that human experience and the work that I promote, it's not to never feel difficult feelings again. We will continue living. We will continue living in these bodies that are temporary. We will continue living with people who continuously evolve as well. The world where all kinds of events are happening all the time. Nature that is unpredictable, etc., etc. So it's important just to understand that life will always be life, and there will always be a big degree of things that we cannot control, the unpredictability of it all, the impermanence of it all. But emotional maturity will allow us to process our own feelings so we don't interact with other people out of reaction or blaming and projecting our own issues and shadow, but rather when we know how to process our own emotions, we can then relate to other people from that more peaceful place, non-violently. We can discuss these difficult things when people are ready to discuss them and not in the moment where they are in a reactive state. So we'll know how to choose the moments for difficult conversations. We'll know how to process our pain and suffering and our own reactivity and sadness and grief and loss. But life will still be life. So it's very important to understand that there won't ever be a perfect insouciance where we no longer have access to our emotions. No. We'll continue being human beings, and we'll just have better tools to process everything. So this is what is important to understand, that full spectrum of human experience is not just happiness, joy, and bliss. And in fact, any of these feelings are impossible if we never felt pain and suffering and loss. We need everything for the full spectrum of human experience. In fact, we are here for all of the experience. But what is lacking in our world today, the way I see it, is that incredible lack of self-responsibility, a focus on the outside of ourselves, blaming other people for things that are happening in our body, our emotions, our reactions, and what I am promoting is that kind of self-responsibility for our lives, our ability to regulate our own emotions, emotional intelligence, so we can relate with other people in our lives in the best way, where they don't have to be on the defensive. And we also try not to bring our own baggage and woundedness into our everyday interaction. So I hope this was helpful, and I just really wanted to make sure that we don't fall back into this other illusion of happily ever after, what Hollywood movies and Disney cartoons were selling us, that there is a moment where everything becomes wonderful and we'll never suffer again. That just doesn't exist in life. So let's be realistic, and yet also understand that there are ways and means and tools that we can have in order to have a different quality of life, where we're no longer victims, and we're no longer in reaction. We swim with the currents, and we know how to navigate the rapids and the unexpected turns. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. And I welcome any comments or expressions from you. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful week.